Oh, this is week 2. Power Rankings! They are Power Rankings! Alright, ladies and gents. This is week 2 of my Power Rankings after week 1 and the preseason Power Rankings. So, as you see, my fancy new board that my girlfriend Lauren built for me. I helped out a little bit. I put on some of these footballs. Very cool. I think you guys will really like it. I'm going to be slapping on our rankings 10 all the way to number 1. Put some time and effort into it. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I might add even more. Some commercials, you know. I don't know if I get sponsored. You never know how YouTube goes. Let's get down and dirty with week 1 recap. Myself, Ted on the Nip, did very good with 59 points. Number 1, of course, like always. And also Hooked on Tronics, Adam, you did very well too. Both of my higher teams that I thought were going into the season both performed well. For the most part, all of my top 5 performed well. 1 did not. And he knows who it is. A little highlight, Chiefs are bad. We got that. I'm hoping maybe 3 to 4 wins this season. They're really bad. See you later, Andy Reid. We've all been talking about QBs and how they are the league's top boys, and if you have good QBs, you're going far. Where were they this week? The QBs, Aaron Rodgers taking dumps. Breeze. What is he, a wind of a breeze? Get out of here. Peyton Manning, you did good the first half. You weren't there the second half. Matt Ryan and Stafford, that's the only 2. Those are mediocre, a little bit better than mediocre quarterbacks, and they did great. And most of our games weren't really that interesting besides Terry, Larry, and Learning Computers. Theirs was decided by a few points. But they were pretty much blowouts. Teams did not do good, and teams did really good. So week 1, not very exciting. Week 2 coming up could be much more exciting. Well, let's get to the power rankings, ladies and gents. We will start at 10, right here. Move up to 1. God, this board is beautiful. All right. For my 10th. He was 10th last week, and he'll be 10th this week. Wow. Terry, Larry, Stevie V. Had you 10th last week, didn't like your team. This week you proved why putting up 118 points isn't going to get you very far in this league. You have to put up at least 130 if you're going to win consistently. You slow start, you know, but you never know. Your QB's really... They did bad. They did really bad. Let me pull out some stats for you. Mr. Terry to the Larry. Where are you? Terry Larry. You had 8 points by good old Blake Griffin, 14 by Foles. Your real big downfall, you can't get 0.10 points by a guy named Randall. Don't know who that is, but you just can't get that. If you have guys giving you 0s and 1s, you're not going to win. Not in this league. So let's move on. We're going to go on to number 9, and that's going to be Llama Drama. He moves from 7th down to 9th. Not a very good week by him. Let me pull out his stats for you, ladies and gents. Oh, where are you, Llama Drama? Llama Drama, putting up not the greatest stats, but you know what? 120's not too shabby, but not that great. I moved you down because your quarterback play was terrible. Doug Martin is going to kill you, and he's going to kill you all season. And my boy Jimmy did not show up for you. So, you know, you have some solids, and your biggest solid was Megatron. He went optimal prime mode on you. And he got you a lot of points, but he couldn't carry you to a victory. I'm sorry, Ryan. Your team does have some upside, but the week 1 really hurt you with Doug Martin and Jimmy. Megatron's not going to get you that many points, so I don't see a lot of W's coming your way. You know, you're going to be at 9, but maybe at the end of the year climb up to 6. Let's go on. After that, we're going to hop to 8th. And 8th, Gotham's Rose, Cal Rizzione. Cal, you jumped up from my 9th to 8th. You had a pretty solid week. Let me pull out his stats for that one. one, Cal Rizion. Okay. Cal, you did lose to me, so you do have a loss. So I did want to fly you up the list, but you played very well. You put up a good amount of points. Big Ben played pretty good. Flacco played okay. But you had the big days by Antonio Brown. And C. Patterson for Minnesota, I tried to make a trade for him. I think he's going to be a really solid player this year. And Marshawn Lynch really carried the load. It's a solid start for you. Lynch is a machine. Your downfalls is, God, who did really bad for you? I know someone did bad. Jay Hill did bad, 1.9 points. And now Lacey, that's another big knock on you. Lacey had a concussion game 1. We don't know how long he's going to be out. They really haven't heard anything about it since. So, I'm not looking forward. Lacey might not be really successful this year, especially if A-Rod stays healthy. I think that's the main reason he did so good last year. All right. Oh, just a little FYI. These power rankings were done on Wednesday before the games on Thursday. So I might have switched stuff around, but I'm not. Let's hop to number 7, learning computers. Wow. There you go, buddy. You moved down. You were 6th last week. You moved down to good old 7th. You had a great week by Stafford and Russell Wilson and Lev'Anian Bell. Lev'Anian Bell played good too. But at the end of the day, your team's bad. So that's why I'm not going to be, you're not going to be going up this beautiful chart anytime soon. Thomas with 4.8. Jason Witten, 1.4. Cowboys, they took a dump this week, killing everyone, all their players. Just bad. Learning computers, something needs to be done pretty quick with your team. And I think that is just training everyone and ready for next year. After this one, we're going to hop to 6th. Making the most progress of the week. Dwayne Boners, the Boners. Justin, you had a great week with Cam Newton on the bench. That's your biggest plus. Peyton Manning got you your 20. He did it good, but also bad because he should have got you at least 35 with putting up 22 points in the first half and then doing turds for the rest of the season, or rest of the game. Matt Castle was a very nice pickup for the Cam Newton drop, and that was good pickups, good game. You put up good points and you got the W. The bad was your still running backs will be the downfall of your team. They're bad, and you need Cam Newton back because Matt Castle ain't carrying you anywhere, my friend. And I don't think Mr. Cammy Boy is going to have any cameos this year, if you know what I mean. Shooter McGavin. All right, now we move to 5th. Wow. We move to the bank, who has dropped also. He was 4th in my preseason. Now he's moved to 5th. Wow. Talk about a bad game. Jamal who? I told you guys he's not going to do good this year. Chiefs. That's my scouting report. Chiefs are not going to do good this year. That was a bad pickup. But Eli Manning, I thought you were going to have a better year, my friend. Don't let me down. You had some solid by Kaepernick and A.J. Green. But, Tim, if Jamal and Manning don't show up, you'll be going down in the earlier round. Sugar, we're going down swinging. All right, after that one, my worst performance of the week goes to this next person. GG, well played. Mr. Preseason ranking number 1 decided not to show up this week. Maybe the game was not good enough for him to play well. Get it? What? He was terrible. Terrible, solid by Forte and Johnson on the running backs, but everyone else was bad. The guy had 3 touchdowns in his whole team. 3. Peyton Manning had those in the first quarter. Adios, muchachos. Josh, I don't see that happening very much more this year, but you are cursed, they say, so I wouldn't be surprised if I see you down here next week after you get smoked by the man. That's me, by the way. I'm the man. Then we're going to hop to third. Lugnut. You had a great week. You made some moves and bounds, jumped over some players, and now you're sitting at third of the power rankings. A lot of people want to crown you champion already because I think your team's that good. I know. It's good, but not as good as some other teams. You got the W, which is always good. And you really had no studs, but you had no duds. And that's where you got everything. No breakout players, no dud players. You had a nice, even 15, 11, 12, 15, 10, 8, 9, all throughout, and it got you a nice 130 points, and you pulled out a victory. So, Pat, your team's very solid. I didn't see any glaring holes, but I didn't see any stars in there. So, you will do good all year, and if you get the hot streak at the right time, you might be first count one of these Super Bowl rings. Maybe. After that, we go to second. Hooked-on-Tronics. Yeah, that name took forever to write. Freaking cast. Take up the whole freaking thing as well. Second most points of the week. You were my third going into the season, so you moved up one. You got the W. You played very well. You had the best QBs points-wise in the league. I don't see that happening every week, but they're good enough to get you their 17 to 20s constantly. My biggest thing for your team was your flex positions did hella good. That's really the reason you won. Your weak QBs, they could kill you this year. But you know what? If your flex positions play that good and your quarterbacks play that good, you'll be sitting up number one here in a few weeks. But that could not happen. We'll see how that goes. And that leaves numero uno. As you can probably tell, I put myself up there. Of course I do. I was number 2 going into the preseason, or going into the season, and after a solid W and the most points scored, I had to move myself to number 1. I was really doubting my team, but I have to put them up there. You know, I have to stick true to the board. Jason's Power Rankings board. Most points, good tight end play. My receivers played pretty good. C. Smith came out of nowhere and got me 17 points. But I had some big negatives, and the main one was Aaron Rodgers was supposed to come out and, give me at least 17 to 22 points. Pulled out a 9er. Toby Gerhart got 5. Well, but, 3 touchdowns and 100 yards by my tight end is always a benefit. DeMarco Murray played somewhat good. Had some pretty decent players. Put up the most points, so I'm going to keep myself up there. Hope you guys like it. That's a beautiful board. And it's nice and laid out for you guys, so you guys can see exactly what you're supposed to look at. Move it over your cast. All right, so the power rankings are done. Let's do the pick'ems real quick so we can be done with this video. I'm starting at 13 minutes, not too shabby. So let's do this out. First game, Bank versus Learning Computers. I give it to Learning Computers with the upset. Jamal Charles doesn't show up, and Learning Computers takes it. I'm out. Pow, pow, the bank just got bankrupt. Next one, Hooked-on-Tronics versus Boners. Cam Newton, you're talking about a second versus 6. Cam Newton is supposed to come back. I think it's going to be tight, but I give it to Hooked-on-Tronics. Really like his team. I think his QB is going to carry him this year. Mark on my word. After that, we go to Gotham's Rogues with Terry Larry. Bottom feeders game is what I call it. Gotham's Rogues, Terry Larry. Gotham Rogues takes this. Terry Larry is the worst team in the league. And I think Cal put up a good performance week 1. I see him climbing. Making moves. Also after that, we go to Llama Drama versus Lugnut. A 3 versus a 9. I'm going Lugnut, ladies and gents. There's no clear-cut answer to this question besides bad and good. So I'm going to go with the good. After that one, we go to the game of the week. Tit on the nip, number 1 ranked player versus GG well played, 4th ranked player. And I give the advantage to Tit on the nip. Number 1 player in the league. I like the matchups better. He's cursed. He doesn't get touchdowns. I think I pull out a solid victory of 15 points or more. Overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully, please comment about the board. I really loved it. Let me send you guys out with some cool little dance moves. And Pat, we'll see you soon.